We're here in Prince George's County, but as I travel throughout the country, there are meetings going on like this everywhere. Parents are saying, what is it that I can do? What's wrong with my child? Where is the world going? What happened to the good old days? So it's a good thing to be here tonight and to have an opportunity to share. Many of you may or may not know I'm the mother of Len Bias that died some 20, going on 28 years ago, 2 days after being drafted by the Boston Celtics in 1986. But December 4th of 1990, I lost a second son, Jay. He was violently murdered. And I used the deaths of these two young men as an opportunity to travel throughout the nation, encouraging both young people and adults alike. I'm a firm believer that the thing that should have killed me gave me life. And I am clear today that the only reason why I stand here is because I have been given the strength, and this was a mission, a divine mission to go out and encourage and help families for such a time as this. There are 4 things that I put out before I start my presentations, and this is regardless as to what group I'm addressing. I've said it to former presidents. I've said it to the military, corporate America, high schools, wherever, colleges, wherever I speak, I put these 4 things out. And the first thing is that I love each and every last one of you. And parents, I'm here to tell you today, any adult that is doing any type of work with young people today, it's going to take unconditional love. And I love you all, not with the love where you have to love me back, but unconditional love. I love you because I love you. And to help our children today and to strengthen our families, we're going to have to learn to love unconditionally. And unconditional love is painful. That means that you will have to forgive. You'll have to change the way you look at certain things. It's very, very difficult. The second thing is that I see neither black faces, white faces, Asians, Indians, Hispanics, and so on and so on. In this case, beautiful community, parents coming together to be encouraged in such a difficult time. We look at the incident that occurred at the Navy Yard last week. That was somebody's child. That was somebody's child, and some parent did the best that they thought that they could do, but this is the end that we're dealing with today. So parenting and the mental health of our children is very, 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 very important, but more important is the mental health of the parent. Because if the blind lead the blind, they both fall in a ditch. A confused parent can't lead a confused child anywhere. The third thing is that I come to offend no man. Any reference I make spiritually, I'm talking about my own walk. I know that my lot should be the local mental institution burying 2 sons. I should be over at Fort Lincoln Cemetery in Suitland crying, saying what happened to my life. But from grief to power, that's where I am today. And I understand it's not about me, it's about you. The fourth and final thing is that because I love you, because I come to offend no man, and because I see beautiful people here to be encouraged this evening, that is that I care absolutely nothing about what anyone thinks of me. And parents, if we can get that attitude, adults, if we can get that attitude that we know who we are, we're confident in where we're going, we're staying in our lane, and we don't care what anyone thinks about us, more specifically our children, because we are the leader. We are the one that's in the front leading the child. And if the blind lead the blind, they both fall in a ditch. So parents have to have clarity of thought and understanding and be filled with confidence and unconditional love when they're working with their children. And today I say even grandparents. So many grandparents are taking care of grandchildren today because of some circumstances that may have taken place in the family with the actual biological parents. Well, you say, Dr. Bias, if you know so much, why are your 2 sons dead? You're nothing but a loser. And as I said before, I believe that my two babies were two seeds that went down into the ground to bring forth life. And unfortunately, within our community today, beautiful seeds are still going down into the ground to bring forth life because we have not taken seriously enough the part that we play as adults in bringing prevention to preserve the lives of our young people. I own and operate B Speaks International. It's a life investment company, and we package hope. And we believe that all of our young people, all of the parents, all of the community are reachable, teachable, lovable, and savable. But what worked in 1959 won't roll in 2014. What worked in 2005 won't work in 2014. So what are you saying, Dr. Bias? I'm saying it's time we have to rethink what we're doing and step our game up. And rather than being conformed to the way it was, we have got to make a transition and be transformed in order to help and save this nation's greatest natural resource, our young people. They are reachable, teachable, lovable, and savable. As we look at the challenges during middle school years today, the first thing that I would like to throw out to you as parents, as anyone that services young people, don't throw in the towel. I'll say it again, our young people are reachable, teachable, lovable, and savable, but what worked years ago will not work today because there is an intensifying of information. Our young people receive information at an alarming rate through the ear gates and through the eye gates. The human brain is nothing but a computer absorbing data at an alarming rate. And for all of the data that they're taking in at an alarming rate, all of this data that they're taking in at an alarming rate, all it is are seeds. Just give me 1 minute. Oh, here they are. Seeds. I save seeds. I have cherry seeds in here, and I have acorns in here. Hear me right, parents. Every drop of negative information that your child receives is a seed going in through the eye gate or through the ear gate. Now, in this acorn, there is a tree. If you plant this acorn, it'll come up as a little bloom, a little plant, but it's going to grow up into a big tree. And as my mother used to say, when the negative goes in, she used to say, you nip it at the bud. You go down and you catch it and you see it and you pull it up before it begins to grow. So what does that mean? We have to pay attention. We can't be in denial. The greatest state in the United States of America is not Maryland, it's not Texas, it's not New York, it is denial. It will always be somebody else. It'll never be my child. And we are the next one on the list, on the hit list. We don't know until we get our families together and our communities together. Is your child, is your family the next one on the hit list? Because we are letting these seeds go in and bring up trees. And let me tell you something, it's no good to try to do right by your child. There are plenty of parents I know that had children that were honor students, come from the best communities and did all of the right things. But guess what? They were on somebody's hit list. So today, in order for us to preserve our families and our young people, we have to look at preserving the lives of all of the young people in our realm of influence. I think, as Ms. Eubanks said, it does take a village to raise a child today. There are many paths to the top of the mountain, but once you get there, the view is the same. Everyone in here, we have educators taking their path. You have me taking my path. You have parents taking their path. Law enforcement, social work, everybody is taking their path, and the goal and the view is the same: save this nation's most valuable resource. So every time your child hears something negative or is involved in something negative, and you do nothing about it, it's growing, it's being watered. So this pushes us into a time of where we have to pay attention as parents, listen carefully, guard your heart, what goes into your heart, so that you can have success. Now, let me throw this in. First of all, let me put this out. I'll be done in about 10 minutes, but the end of January and the first 2 weeks in February, I will be having parenting classes. Our company name, I'm here today under Hope, helping our parents evolve, endure, and excel. We're here to help you move on. We're here to help you not to throw in the towel. What is throwing in the towel? Throwing in the towel is a boxing term that's used in the boxing ring when a corner sees their opponent is getting beaten so bad, they say, we're going to throw in the towel, he can't take anymore. But we have strong, healthy parents in here. You have strong, healthy kids. We just have to change our approach to adapting to their needs. And through Hope, we don't want any parent throwing in the towel, because the best is yet to come. When we look at understanding the stages of adolescent development very quickly for the sake of time, when we're trying to understand the stages of adolescent development, one of the main things that you have to understand as parents is that it's a stage, okay, that the kids go through. So what happens is the brain of the child is developing for independence. And you can see it in the terrible twos. When the little children, they get out, they show off, they start feeling their brain is developing, that part of their brain is developing where they're going to confront you and test you. So as they continue to grow, the brain is still developing. That's why at, say now, 9 and 10 years old, where they would want you to hold their hands and mommy, want to lay up on you and tell you everything. Now they're kind of distancing themselves. They close their bedroom door. They don't want you in their business so much. You're in my business. All of this is independence. But what the parent's job is while they are going through this, continuing to manage them and cover them and teach them to respect positive and legal authority. Now, if your child does not respect you, you cannot expect them to respect anyone else. Today, we can line students up around this school who probably have 4.0s. Now the kids have gone to 4.4s, and they are so brilliant academically, but so many of them do not value who they are and have good character education. So what are you saying today, Dr. Bias? I'm saying today we must invest in the non-marketable. We must teach our children character education, how to respect one another, and how to respect adults. But if the blind lead the blind, they both fall in a ditch. Parents, don't be weary in doing well. Continue to say the good. Now, the more you hoop and holler and scream, the more you got to hoop and holler and scream. So power today is not going off, did I tell you, did I tell you, did I tell you? Power is resisting the temptation to go off and develop the qualities in you to meet the needs of the children. What your parents did for you is not going to ride today. When your children get up and go to school in the morning, they go into a whirlwind. Everything that you have said to them, everything that you have taught them is gone in, but it goes into a furnace to be tested. And because of all of them gathered together, their brains are developing, then they look at their peers more than they look at what the parents are saying. The greatest fear that your child has today, parents, hear me right. The greatest fear that your children have is the fear of not being accepted by their peers. It's very important to them that their peers accept them. So when we're looking at the negative seeds that are going in, it's the parent's responsibility to tell them every day, you are the gift. You are valuable. As people are coming in tearing them down, you've got to pull up that stuff and put the good in to help your child. We're fighting. This is a matter of life and death. And in closing, our homes, like I said, if you want to hear more, I bought my little book. You can sign up for the parenting class. And I have flyers that I'm going to hand out if you need to get in touch with me. But our homes, parents, you have to hear me right, should become social emergency rooms. We're in a state of emergency dealing with our young people in this nation. They are out of control. And if the blind lead the blind, they both fall in a ditch. Don't be afraid to enter this culture. Don't be afraid. Work harder and smarter. You're going to have to cut out some of your activities to cover your child. You're going to have to sacrifice to save your child. You can't look at everything that you want to do for you and think that your child is going to make it through okay. Working harder and smarter. There is hope. Hope is not extinct. The best is yet to come. Our young people are taking in information at an alarming rate, and it is not good information. We have to get to work if we're serious about bringing a change. Hope, helping our parents, helping our precious parents endure, evolve, and excel. The man in the glass. When you get what you want, your struggle for self and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your mother, your brother, or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. Some people might call you a straight shooting chum and call you a wonderful guy. But the man in the glass says you're only a bum if you can't look him straight in the eye. For he's the fellow to please, never mind all of the rest, because he's going to be with you clear up to the end. And you've passed your most dangerous and difficult test if that man in the glass is your friend. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on your back as you pass. But my beautiful young people and my beautiful parents, our final reward shall be heartaches and tears if we cheat the parent, if we cheat the child, if we cheat ourselves, the man that's in the glass. Hope is not extinct. The best is yet to come. As parents, you have more to give. Your back is up against the wall to push you out of your comfort zone. The best is yet to come, but it is within you. May God bless you all and all of your families, and thank you for inviting me.